Will,
Yeah, Bob?
you were talking about leaks and not just from your butt.
Ah! Poop jokes. Okay.
More specifically, you were talking about the Suicide Squad leaks.
Suicide Squad leaks.
The Supergirl leak.
Yeah, Barry on Twitter asked me about the Supergirl leak, so I figure if that's a good way to parlay that. Not just that leak, but just leaks in general. It seems like any time something we're interested in is about to come out, there's a leak.
Fallout 4, everybody's saying that that's coming out.
Yeah, so
Leaking all
there
over
could
the floor.
there could be a leak soon somewhere. So I guess it's just, something we should probably
They
talk
always
about.
leak box art, like from GameStop.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat X. That leaked like really, really early.
Arkham Knight got leaked.
Arkham Knight.
Really, yeah. It seems to be with games or like product, it'll leak on a retail level. Like
Right.
someone's like some just grunt who works like the actual physical job will like post it to Twitter or something.
You can't trust those people.
You really can't.
Same thing happens with movies, but it's usually the movie will leak when the theaters get the reel
Right.
or the digital.
Yeah, now
version.
they get the files.
And the guy who takes control of all that will leak it.
Yeah.
Like he'll rip it to his computer and upload it.
Sometimes though the movies will leak. This used to happen a few years ago. It doesn't happen anymore. They'll leak on a studio level.
Yeah.
Where like somebody they're actually working on the movie, and then it'll just somebody will put it on the internet and people will start
Or the
downloading
Producers Guild guys.
Yeah.
They'll get a copy and it'll say like Producers Guild only, like on the bottom.
And then that gets distributed online. I remember one of the biggest ones back in the day was the original Wolverine movie got leaked.
Oh my god.
That was a big deal. That got leaked like a year before it came out.
Really? Well, I remember that leaked, and people were like, "Oh man, it's weird. Like the CG's weird, but like you could tell it's unfinished."
Yeah.
And then it came out,
And it was the same.
and it was the
movie,
same CG
just
and
with
everything.
Well, no, they to its credit, they filled in the CG, but it was like looking through a coloring book. The leak was like looking through a coloring book unfinished, and then the finished product was the same coloring book, but now they finally colored it in.
But outside the lines.
But outside the lines, and the story made
I
no
remember
sense. And they ruined Deadpool.
I remember people saying the claws looked weird, and then they still looked weird.
Yeah, no. I mean, they didn't have the best CGI, the finished product.
Oh my god, it was
yeah.
awful. His claws were clipping through his hands. And the scene where he's in the bathroom, he's going like that. They were moving on his hands. It was disgusting.
I know. But
This Supergirl leak, do we know if it's the actual episode?
yes, is the actual.
It is the actual
yes.
episode. Because I heard people were saying we don't know. I mean, it might not be the finished
everything
product.
I've seen looks like it was the full pilot. Because they had to film the pilot well in advance. They sold it to CBS, and now they're going to do the rest of the series. So I mean, that's probably why the pilot.
So is this the pilot that
this is
they
the
were
pilot
showing
that,
to studios, or is this going to be on the air?
Well, it's usually the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be what.
Like they're not going to recut it.
Not that I know of. Like this is going to be what's going to air on, in the fall.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now,
Did you watch it?
I did not.
I didn't watch either.
From what I gather, though, I don't think this will affect the launch of the show too much. 'Cause people are wondering, like, how is this going to affect the ratings now? I don't think it will. Because the same thing happened to the trailer for the pilot for The Flash last year. And everybody loves The Flash.
Nope. People don't know how to get these leaks.
Most people don't. Yeah, like Middle of America probably doesn't know.
Like I'm sure a lot of you internet savvy people.
Yeah, like anybody
will
watching
be able
the show,
to get the leak.
9 out of 10 people watching the show probably know how to get the leak.
But also when it launches, it'll be easier to get.
Yeah.
So like even if you're just a little bit lazy and you don't want to watch the leak
Yeah.
in like a couple months or whenever it comes out, you'll just be able to flick on your TV and watch it, or go to CBS.biz and watch it.
Yeah. But
And this Suicide Squad bullshit.
yeah, well that's a different kind of leak.
Every day there's pictures of the set.
Yeah, that's a different kind of leak where like people will go look on the set because they're filming in Toronto, like on the streets of Toronto. So people are just hanging out like behind the barricades with their phone, filming it this way like assholes. Of, oh, is that Will Smith? Yeah, I think it is. So that's what that is.
I was interested. I was interested to see what the Joker's going to look like.
Yeah.
And what Batman's going to look like, because they only have those couple pictures.
Yeah, and to me, I was more interested in this than I was Batman vs Superman. Like, this looked more like it was going to be more comic booky instead of, you know.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be comic book.
Yeah. But now we're seeing the leaks. Now we're seeing that yes, the Joker will be covered in tattoos.
Too much leaks.
Yeah.
Like I when you showed me today the Batman on Joker's car, you could stop now.
Yeah.
There's been too many videos of this Joker car.
That and the Batmobile driving through Toronto.
Like now I know like a decent chunk of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that when you're leaking set footage, like that could be a problem, like because that could potentially ruin the movie, because then you've already seen half of it.
Yeah.
By the time this movie comes out, I already know there's gonna be a big fight scene in a big car chase in Toronto.
I don't know what comic book movies have had this much leaked about them. I think it's because it was so secretive.
I don't know, because like I don't remember.
Because it's like every day there's something.
I don't remember this many leaks happening. Like during the Nolan Batman movies or during the recent Spider-Man
Definitely
movies. The Marvel movies, like Civil War, there's some set leaks from Civil War, but they're only like a handful of pictures. It's really just Crossbones.
When you're on set for a big production like this, it's really hard to tell what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people working on it.
Yeah.
The actual part that they're filming is really tight, and you can't hear them.
Yeah.
You know, because they're all mic'd up, and they're probably really far away from you. So it's hard to tell what's happening. So, but this, I feel like we get a general idea.
Yeah,
because of how much we're seeing.
Yeah,
and how close these videos are.
Yeah, so that could be a problem. Like when the actual product leaks, I don't think it's that much of a problem, because the general consensus is if you're downloading the leak, you'll probably go, if you like it, you'll probably go out and pay money for it in the long run. Or in the case of Supergirl and the Flash, you'll actually watch it on TV. But, you know, when we're seeing all of it now ahead of time, it's like we're seeing the movie already. So by the time we go see it, you know, the shock is much less than it would have been going in fresh.
Video games, I don't know. I mean, the leaks are just like, this game's going to come out.
Well, no, there are instances, mostly on PC, where the game will actually leak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but usually be unfinished.
No, sometimes it's like
Or if it's gonna be the finished version, it'll be like pretty close.
It'll
to
be
when
like
it's launching.
It'll be like a month before when the game comes out.
Usually. Well, that's like a movie.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, it definitely does happen. When it does happen, and it's a big deal, it's usually like for a console game, because those are much harder to leak to the public, and it'll be like Halo, because there have been times in the past where the Halo games have just flat out leaked. Like the whole game released on the internet for you to download. And Microsoft goes Third Reich on anybody who downloads it. It's insane.
I wish they would leak more games that never got a chance to be completed.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's a website that like looks into that. I can't remember the name
something 64.
Unseen 64.
Unseen 64 talks about
like they show like the footage and stuff and the images, but they don't really show like the finished product.
Like have you ever played Star Fox 2?
Yeah.
Super Nintendo? It's awesome.
Yeah.
And you can get the ROM for it.
Yeah.
But that game was never released, and it was pretty much done.
Yeah. So
in favor, they stopped that
for Star Fox 64.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about leaks?
What are some of your favorite leaks? Have you ever partaked in hunting down
What's
a leaked
your favorite
version?
leak?
I'm afraid to answer that question because I feel like you're going to turn it into a double entendre.
The gears were turning, Will.
Let us know down below or anywhere on social media. We stream every Wednesday.
My favorite leak was all the concept art from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
That was a beautiful concept.
That really was.
No, I mean, that's just the most notable one in my head. I don't
know that's surprising. Not a lot of set footage leaks from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leave it down below. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Social media. We Twitch every Wednesday. I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Yep.
Here's our Twitters and everything.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
You have a good week.
So news broke today that Harley Quinn was supposed to have a bigger appearance on the show Arrow, but because of the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, they stopped that.
This weapon works differently than anything I've ever seen before. It's like a remote detonator launcher with rounds you can charge. It's very bizarre. But this adds variety to the gameplay. I always say how important it is to add variety to the gameplay, but Destiny desperately needs it.